All right, Sal, I think that we are ready to get started. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are Visionix, and Sal is going to kind of tell you about the story of our brand and all of the innovative technologies that we have to offer. Sal?
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Sal with Visionix, as Rachel's text let you know. Uh, you may know us formerly known us as Luno Technology and OptiView. Visionix went ahead and rebranded, but we're the same companies as Luno and OptiView presently. So over the next 20 minutes, I'll introduce our brand. So Dr. Mark Abibble established Visionix in 1994 as a research development lab for applications and wavefront-based technology for vision healthcare. Mark is an inspirational and optimistic and mad scientist at times who puts innovation into Visionix. His PhD was on the Shaq Hartman's wavefront sensor, but utilized for defense industry as a part of Star Wars innovation initiative started during the Reagan administration. And after his PD, he took the technology and applied it to eye health to develop wavefront diagnostic devices. Next. Visionix is a global manufacturer and sales organization. We develop, manufacture, and market ophthalmic equipment in 120 countries. Today, we serve 155,000 eye care professionals and more than 12,000 wavefront-based products, as well as over 20,000 OCTs are utilized by our customers worldwide. Next. Kind of shaping the 100 years of the development of Visionix. You can see it as our timeline. Visionix was founded in 1994 by Mark Abitbol, added to Brio Waco, and then going forward, merged was OptiView in 2021, going forward in our timeline in 2023, where we released the Solix. So OptiView, being first leader in a lot of development, is 2006, you'll see the first spectral OCT on the market. And back in 2008, we're also the first with ganglion cell. Going with 2012, you see first with pachymetry. And then 2014 came OCTA with also metrics, the first one released by the FDA in 2015 and the only one on the market with FDA clearance for analytic metrics for OCTA. And going forward, you'll see the Solix was released a full range that has a mid-rack of modalities built into one system. Next. So we are a comprehensive technology suite. So we cover everything from OCTs, finishing, and also diagnostic instruments. So anywhere we can scale from a small practice to a multidisciplinary practice or university setting, and depending what your practice needs. Next. On our one more slide there. Next. So there's a myriad of OCTs that fit your practice. And previous slide had the iScan, iFusion, iView, and Solix. Solix is our latest one that was pushed to market recently. They got approved by the FDA. It's a spectral domain, anterior segment, full range, so you can get white to white with it. We still have our ganglion cell that was founded and vetted with many white papers. Our OCTA and analytics, which is the metrics that are FDA cleared measurements for OCTA. And then we also have full range, which encompasses not just the retina, but also the anterior segment that will give you 60 millimeter on the retina and also 18 on the white to white. Next. So we have an eye wellness report here that also is a 12:9 retinal thickness. It also incorporates the FAZ zone that highlights the metrics that are FDA approved. You can see the down at the bottom by the FAZ zone is the metrics of the vessel density and also our EDRS map there. And you get that all on this eye wellness. As far as on the top two, you'll see your EDRS map and your GCC deviation maps. Next. So our angio disc report, there's been some change with our analysis that gives you three different ways: our RDB, our NFL, and vessel density. OptiView Solix is the only one with OCTA metrics and new RDB colors, all in one report for your EMR or for any other practice that you'd like to see. Next. So you'll see on the trend analysis, you're not only getting your EDRS, your GCC, your T-SNP, but also the RDBs there, since really what changes the algorithm and the scan pattern that allows 11.7 micron spacing. You got to ask yourself, with your current OCT systems, what are you missing? You're not seeing it. You're seeing it here with the Solix. Next slide. And from full range, you'll see the 18 millimeter white to white scan for the anterior segment, full range myography, and also external photography, and your epithelial pachymetry map, all used for help diagnosing management of dry eye or keratoconus patients. Next slide. Same thing with our posterior analysis. You're not just getting a fundus photography of your image, your B scan, your EDRS map, and your ganglion cell complex. You're also getting your slab in the middle that is segmented with OCTA as well too. So this is a full spectrum that you're getting. Unlike most OCTs that just have one general thing, you also get, if you look on the right-hand side, you have vessel density that you can click and you'll get that information as well too. So full spectrum with full range with OCTA on retina. Next. Down to our next slide. To our diagnostic equipment, you'll see we have a myriad of multimodality equipment for your practice. Next slide. So here you have a full suite here. You have multimodality units, so incorporating your topography, keratometry, wavefront, AR, pachymetry, Shack-Hartmann's wavefronts in there, even with your VX40 to your right, that's a wavefront analyzer for your lenses, and then your digital phoropter and chart that is controlled by a tablet. You have a full suite that can be scaled, like I said, from a small practice to a multidisciplinary practice, depending on your need. Next slide. So your multimodality diagnostic equipment can be scaled to your practice. We have a simple one that's an auto refract and keratometry all the way to our 650 that incorporates every feature to your left with fundus photography, anterior photography, Shack-Hartmann's, wavefront, retroillumination. So it depends what your practice needs. We have a scalable multimodal unit for you. Next slide. We also incorporate finishing equipment, and we can scale from a small practice that does 150 jobs per day to 2,000 jobs a day. It just depends what your need is. We can suit your need to build out your practice as well too with finishing equipment. Next slide. One more. And you'll see that the lens finishing equipment, the same way we can build out your practice with your diagnostic equipment, we can build out your finishing lab to suit your diagnostic equipment and what your needs of your practice are. Next slide. So one more slide. There you go. We're jumping into our VX40 wavefront lens analyzer that has 1,350 waypoints that will allow you to map the lens, and we're also integratable with your EHR and a viewing software as well too. We do integrate with Topcon and Marco products for the phoropters. So if you have existing CV5000 or TRS5100 from Marco and decide to get away from lens analyzer, we can send the data straight to those digital phoropters as well too. And very ease of use. Next. So then you might ask, there's still talk about blue light measurements. The VX36 will suit that needs. If you want to have a blue light and not a fully automated one, this is a little bit earlier technology, but does provide some spectrum that people may utilize still today in their practice. Next slide. So why Visionix? So with a full complementary of OCT diagnostic equipment, over 100 years of innovation and R&D investment, and also building a consultative partnership with you and other practices. We are a dedicated team that specializes in a smooth transition and minimize disruption ongoing with our support team for your practice. And I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. And if you'd like to book a demo, our web page to book a demo is up on the screen at this point.